Imagine a single drop of water hitting a polished hardwood floor. A hairline crack appears in the ceiling plaster above. A contractor's boot steps heavily onto loose gravel near a roof edge. A child laughs, running through a sprinkler. You're driving down a suburban street. Sun glare obscures a ball rolling into the road. A dog playfully jumps towards a visitor's hand. A handshake closes a business deal. A yoga instructor adjusts a client's posture. These are ordinary moments. Now, envision the fracture. Water bursts through the cracked ceiling, flooding the room. The contractor slips, gravel cascading. The child slips, head snapping onto stone. Tires screech before impact. The visitor's hand jerks back, blood welling. The business client clutches their chest, collapsing. The yoga client's ankle twists violently. You didn't mean it. You're still liable. Every single day, ordinary moments fracture into financial catastrophe. Not due to malice or criminal negligence, but simply because something happened, and the law dictates you are financially responsible. This is liability, a legal obligation, arising if your actions, or even inaction, cause bodily injury, property damage, or personal advertising injury to another. The costs are staggering and often life-crushing. Average car accident, bodily injury claims range from $20,000 to over $100,000. Severe injuries exceed $500,000. Dog bites cost $50,000, $100,000 plus. Facial reconstruction, $250,000 plus. Slip and falls range from $20,000 to over $500,000. Disability claims exceed $1 million. Professional negligence claims start at $100,000 and soar into the millions. These figures represent real medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering awards, plus your own legal defense costs, easily exceeding $100,000 pre-trial. This is the avalanche, starting small, but burying savings, homes, investments, and future earnings. The terrifying truth is everyone is exposed. Owning a home, driving a car, having a job, owning a pet, interacting with others, possessing any assets, all make you a target. Liability insurance isn't paranoia. It's recognizing vulnerability in our complex, interconnected, litigious world. Myths like "I'm careful, only the rich get sued," "my business is too small," or "homeowners covers everything," are dangerous illusions. Lawsuits target the ability to pay. Insurance makes you a target because of the insurer's deep pockets. Without it, you're an easier target to break. The landscape is unpredictable and unforgiving. Liability insurance is the essential armor. So, who actually needs this shield? Let's expose the hidden fault lines. Act 1. The landscape of liability. The problem defined the moment you engage with the world, liability risk emerges. Consider a weary middle-aged man, reflecting, "I thought my umbrella policy was overkill. Then my teen driver caused a multi-car pileup. 2 surgeries. Lost wages. The claim hit $1.8 million. My auto policy maxed out at $500,000. Without that umbrella, our house, my retirement, gone. Just gone." His story underscores the landscape. Liability exposure clusters around specific activities and assets. Identifying these zones is crucial to understanding who needs protection most acutely. Act 2. The targeted. Who needs this armor? Deep dives with examples. Segment 1. The ground beneath your feet. Homeowners and renters your home. Your sanctuary is also a significant liability exposure. It's not just about your possessions. It's about what happens to others on your property or because of it. Homeowners or renters insurance includes personal liability coverage, typically $100,000, $500,000, covering bodily injury, for example, a guest slips, property damage, for example, your tree falls on a neighbor's car, and personal injury, for example, accidental. Libo. Consider Maria, a renter, hosting a small dinner party. A guest, Leaving late, misses a step on her poorly lit porch, falls, and suffers a traumatic brain injury. Medical bills exceed $400,000. Lost wages and future care are estimated at $1.2 million. Without renter's liability coverage, Maria faces a $1.6 million lawsuit, wiping out her savings and subjecting future wages to garnishment for decades, irrevocably altering her life due to an accident she didn't intentionally cause, but for which she's legally responsible. Or consider David, whose beloved old oak tree, weakened by unnoticed disease, crashes through his neighbor's roof during a storm, destroying a home office containing rare art and equipment, causing $350,000 in damage. Without sufficient homeowners liability coverage, David could be forced to sell his own home to cover the costs. As a claims adjuster notes, slip and falls are incredibly common and costly. Juries are sympathetic to injured guests and attractive. Nuisances like pools, trampolines, or tree houses that draw children pose significant liability risks, even if the injured child was trespassing. Segment 2. The road is a battlefield. Auto owners driving is statistically one of the most dangerous daily activities. A split-second lapse, distraction, or simply being in the wrong place can unleash financial ruin far beyond vehicle damage. Auto liability insurance, bodily injury, and property damage is mandatory in most states, but state minimums are dangerously low. For example, California, $15,000, $30 K by, $5,000 PD. Experts strongly recommend at least $100,000, $300,000, $100,000, often $250,000, $500,000 or more. Picture Mark, a cautious driver. Glancing at his GPS, he rear-ends a minivan at 35 miles per hour. 2 children suffer severe whiplash and concussions. Initial medical costs are $85,000. Projected ongoing therapy and potential learning disability costs exceed $700,000. The parents sue for $2 million. With only state minimum coverage, $30,000 by Mark's personal assets, house, savings are seized. His wages garnished indefinitely, destroying his financial future over what seemed like a minor accident. In another scenario, Sarah swerves to avoid debris, loses control, and hits a pedestrian in a crosswalk, causing catastrophic injuries with lifetime care costs estimated at $5 million plus. Without sufficient bodily injury limits, Sarah faces personal bankruptcy and lifelong debt, regardless of fault for the initial debris. An auto underwriter emphasizes, people drastically underestimate medical costs and lawsuit awards. A single ER night costs $10,000. Surgery can be $50,000 plus. Chronic pain claims run into millions. State minimums are inadequate, often covering just the ambulance ride. Adequate liability is non-negotiable armor. Segment 3. The price of profession. Business owners, self-employed professionals operating a business, offering advice, building, or serving the public exponentially increases liability exposure. Your work, premises, products, or advice can trigger catastrophic claims. Essential coverages include commercial general liability, CGL, the bedrock, covering bodily injury, property damage on premises, from operations or from products, for example. Client slips, faulty product causes harm, professional liability errors and omissions, E&O, critical for service, advice-based businesses, consultants, architects, tech, realtors, therapists, covering negligence, mistakes, or failure to deliver. Product liability, essential for manufacturers and sellers. Directors and officers, D&O, protects leaders of companies and nonprofits. Imagine a small bakery. A delivery person trips over an uneven mat just inside the door, shattering their elbow. Surgery, rehab, and lost wages lead to a $250,000 claim. Without CGL insurance, the bakery owner risks losing her business and personal assets. Consider a financial advisor who recommends an investment based on incomplete research, causing a client to lose $500,000. Alleging negligence, the client sues for $1.5 million. Without E&O coverage, the advisor's personal wealth faces obliteration. Or picture a boutique toy maker selling a handcrafted rattle. A piece breaks off, a child chokes, suffering brain damage. The resulting lawsuit seeks $10 million plus. Without product liability insurance, the maker faces utter ruin. A commercial broker warns, sole proprietors are personally liable. A lawsuit against your business targets you. CGL is fundamental. E&O is critical for any knowledge worker. Underestimating this is betting your entire livelihood on never making a mistake or having an accident, a bet not worth taking. Segment 4. The furry liability. Pet owners, especially dogs' pets, are family. But even gentle animals can react unpredictably. Dog bites are a major source of liability claims, often subject to restrictions or exclusions on standard policies. Coverage typically falls under homeowners, renters' liability, but breed restrictions exclusions are common. For example, pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, high-risk breeds may need separate policies. Umbrella policies often provide broader coverage. Lucy's normally placid rescue dog gets spooked by fireworks, bolts out the door, and bites a child delivering flyers, causing severe facial lacerations, requiring multiple reconstructive surgeries. Medical costs exceed $200,000. A lawsuit seeking $1 million addresses pain, suffering, and emotional trauma. If Lucy's dog breed is excluded on her homeowner's policy, she faces personal financial annihilation over an incident lasting seconds. An insurance agent stresses, one bite is all it takes. Claims encompass not just medical costs but significant psychological damage. Know your policies, animal liability provisions. If you own an often excluded breed, seek specialized coverage immediately. Never assume you're covered. Segment 5. The extra mile. Umbrella policy holders, having home and auto liability is essential. But what if the claim exceeds those base limits? $300,000, $500,000. A personal umbrella policy (PUP) provides the critical extra layer, offering $1 million, $2 million, $5 million plus an additional liability coverage above your underlying home auto limits. It often covers broader situations, for example, false arrest, worldwide libel, slander, and is relatively inexpensive for the massive protection it affords. Recall Mark's car accident $2 million lawsuit with only $250,000 auto buy coverage. Without an umbrella, he's personally liable for $1.75 million. With a $1 million umbrella, his auto pays $250,000. The umbrella pays $1 million. He might still owe $750,000, but it's vastly more manageable. With a $2 million umbrella, his insurance covers the full $2 million, shielding his personal assets. Who needs an umbrella? Anyone with significant home equity, savings, investments, future earnings potential, teenage drivers, a pool, trampoline, dog, or who serves on a board. If you possess assets worth protecting beyond your base policies, an umbrella is the ultimate financial safety net. Act 3. The Fortress. How liability insurance works and saves. Liability insurance functions as a multi-layered fortress. When disaster strikes, the shield, payment for covered claims. When you're liable for a covered injury or damage, your insurer pays up to your policy limits for the victim's medical bills, lost wages, repair costs, and legal judgments, settlements, protecting your assets. The sword and shield, legal defense, even defending against frivolous lawsuits, costs tens of thousands. Your liability insurer provides and pays for legal defense. Lawyers investigate, negotiate, and fight in court, which is invaluable. Win or lose, Peace of mind, risk transfer. You exchange the terrifying uncertainty of potentially infinite personal loss for the manageable certainty of an annual premium, allowing you to live and work without fearing one accident could destroy everything. The umbrella extended protection. This crucial layer activates when primary policy limits are exhausted, providing millions in additional coverage. Consider the simple equation. The annual cost of liability premiums ranges from $500 to $2,000, varies widely. The potential cost of one major lawsuit without coverage ranges from $100,000 to over $10 million. Liability insurance offers the ultimate financial leverage. Choosing the right coverage requires careful assessment. Work with an independent insurance agent to evaluate your specific risks: home, car, business, pets, assets. Don't settle for state minimums or the cheapest quote. Buy sufficient coverage to protect what you've built, and review it annually as life and risks evolve. Climax and resolution. The imperative: revisit those opening moments: the water drop, the crack, the boot, the child, the drive, the dog, the handshake, the yoga pose. Now, envision an invisible shield containing the water, reinforcing the ceiling, a safety harness engaging, soft padding breaking a fall, robust liability coverage activating alongside car safety systems, a calm leashed dog, E&O, coverage backing a business deal, a policy-backed professional guiding an adjustment. Liability isn't phantom menace. It's the physics of our world. Actions have reactions. Accidents happen. People seek compensation. The avalanche is real, but you are not powerless. Who actually needs liability insurance? The answer transcends who and focuses on why. You need it because you own property, a potential hazard zone. You need it because you operate a vehicle, a potential weapon. You need it because you work, build, advise, or serve, exposing yourself to professional risk. You need it because you share your life with pets, creatures of instinct. You need it because you host guests and participate in society where accidents unfold. You need it because you have anything to lose: savings, a home, a future, peace of mind. In essence, if you breathe, interact, own, drive, work, or love in this world, you need liability insurance. It's not a luxury or pessimism. It's the essential, rational foundation of a secure financial life, the bedrock enabling you to build your future without fear of it being swept away by a single unforeseen moment. Don't wait for the crack in the ice or the first rumble. Build your fortress. Secure your ground. Protect the life you've built now. Conclusion. The call to action: your life is an asset. Protect it with liability insurance. Consult an independent insurance agent today. The cost of being wrong is infinite. The cost of being protected is finite. Hashtag liability armor. Hashtag financial security. Hashtag protect your future.